Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We are covering the Naroditsky Memorial Rapid and Blitz event. I'm obviously back after my hiatus, and the first three videos we're doing are Vladimir Kramnik being banned, the Creator Invitational, and now the Naroditsky Memorial Rapid and Blitz. I'm just getting back into the swing of things. There were a lot of chess games over the weekend, everything dedicated to Daniel Naroditsky, but there was a Rapid event, which we're going to look at. There was a Blitz event, there were Blitz playoffs, and so on. So it was a lot of games of chess. There was one cool story which did happen during the event, which we'll mention. But yeah, we're just going to kind of go to a big overarching view of everything. So starting with the rapid portion of the event, this was won by Javokhir Sindarov. Him and Aravindh finished first and second after all the Swiss was played. They played 7 rounds, and then they played each other in a tiebreak match, which Sindarov then went on to win. However, it was not in this event, I don't believe. Sindarov at one point during this event played his brother, Javokhir Sindarov. You can see in terms of the top 10, Aravindh and Javokhir at the top, Andy Woodward, Ray Robson, Ruslan Pominarov, Andrei Zedhong, Aidan Suleimani, Linnea Dominguez Perez, Wesley So, Grigori Oparin, Boris Gelfand, and so on. A lot of theirs. Robert Hess was up there as well. Chursnik Sans was top 20. There were a lot of players. Like if I go down and say show all 93 players participating in the Masters Rapid event. There was also a Challengers Rapid section as well, which was interesting. Only a few players there. Andrea Botez seemingly, she played everything, but I'm imagining what happened was not all the boards were covered, so we'll ignore that for now. Then there was the Masters Blitz. So what happened is there was like a blitz to get a top 10. This was initial phase was won by Hikaru Nakamura, but special shout out to Ethan Sheehan, who is an untitled player. He finished third with a performance of 27-20. He won against Dominic Mayers, who's an untitled player in his first round, then defeated Owana Liang, drew against Linnea Dominguez Perez, drew against Javokhir Sindarov, beat an untitled player, beat Arturas Nixans, beat Grigori Oparin, and then 2 final round victories against 2 Ukrainians, Alexander Bortnik and Ruslan Pominarov. Absolutely phenomenal performance from him, gaining 42.9 points. But there is someone else who deserves a shout out here, and it was in one of these games. It was the first match, in fact, of the Blitz, where we had Sindarov versus Sindarov. Javokhir Sindarov, the challenger for the World Championship, played his brother, Islamabek Sindarov, who's a candidate master. They were both at this event. They played a 30-move game, which you would imagine Javokhir did win. He is the challenger. It was an Italian game. It was very interesting indeed. And yeah, basically there's this blunder here, very early on, knight takes e4, which looks like you just win the pawn, but there's now this, queen g4, which is why it doesn't work. So you have to go back, and then there's h4. Knight e5 does work temporarily, but ultimately in the end, it was Javokhir Sindarov, the challenger for the World Championship, kind of just showing there is no love in chess, there's no family attachment, just mowing his brother down in the end, and then winning with rook h3. Really phenomenal from the World Championship contender, defeating his brother, which, you know, call it what you will, chess is chess. So yeah, the top 10 or so players all qualified to then go to the final. There was a Blitz playoff, just to find the final 2 players to go through. So you can see Ray Robson got a bye, then he was playing Boris Gelfand, ultimately ended up losing. Gelfand, who had to go through Tang to get to the final. Sindarov got a bye before he had to play Linnea Dominguez Perez, and those 3 got through. And so we had the Masters Blitz final, and it was won by Javokhir Sindarov. Coming from behind, Hikaru Nakamura struggling against these top 10 players. So only a draw against Gelfand. He then lost to Mamedov. He lost to Ethan Sheehan, who pulls up with another 3rd place. Absolutely phenomenal from him. Hikaru did get wins against Sam Sevian and Vasif Duravali, as well as Andy Woodward and Simin Khan, and then with a draw against Javokhir Sindarov in the final round. But losses against Wesley So, Ethan, and Mamedov kind of put him in 5th place. Ethan Sheehan gaining another 37.5 points. What a performance from him. He defeated Simin Khan, defeated Hikaru Nakamura, defeated Mukadin Mamedov, a draw against Boris Gelfand, a win against Vasif Duravali, a win against Sam Sevian, a loss to Wesley So. 2 losses in this final. One against Sindarov, one against Wesley So, before drawing Andy Woodward in the final round. Where did this guy come from? He is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. performance from him. But yeah, it was Javokhir Sindarov with all the plaudits at the end. As you remember, Daniel Naroditsky. Like we're just going to go here into the news. So you'll see here Caruana Erdochmus joins Hikaru Naroditsky Memorial lineup. Caruana and Erdochmus didn't do much in the end. You can see it was all won by Javokhir. In case you're confused about what happened, there were sections to play. There was to help the cause, donate. They had the creator invitational, which was covered in a separate video. The main players were Hikaru, Fabi, Wesley So, and so on. A lot of players came out for this. In terms of the event, so the Rapid was its own thing. It was a 7-round Swiss, which we saw Sindarov win. If you're confused about the Blitz, what happened was there was the two sections, the Masters and the Challengers. We'll go look at the Challengers Blitz now. It was 3+2, and what happened is the top 10 players from the Masters qualified to the Blitz final, and that's what we saw happen there. And then the Blitz final was, again, a single round robin between the players. So very interesting stuff. It was $50,000, but there was some, FIDE Tour points and things like that. Challenges, there was also stuff, and it was all held at the Marriott Center in Charlotte in the United States. So just to finish off, making sure we cover everything properly, let's just look at the Challengers Blitz, which was also won by Botez's sister, Andrea, finishing second, Alexandra Botez finishing first in that. I'm imagining we can only see their boards because the other players weren't playing on DGT boards, so this may not even be the true final standings, because, we're only seeing players here if they played the Botez sisters, so we're only seeing one game each of theirs. But these are how the two Botez sisters went. Considering Andrea went 6.5 out of 11, and Alexandra went 7 out of 11, it could be close to the actual standings, but some of these other guys may have done well. Andrea should be winning this field, but she did lose. She lost against Kwaichi Sender, so all these guys here picked up points, so they're doing all right. So we can't check the actual standings. That's why, the Challengers Blitz and the Challengers Rapid, we could only see the boards that the Botez sisters were playing on. So not really helpful in terms of deciding the final standings. So yeah, Masters Blitz final, Javokhir Sindarov, who just qualified, by the way. He just finished in 10th, 9th or 10th in the overall Swiss. He then goes on an absolute tear, goes undefeated in the Blitz final with some phenomenal games. And yeah, goes on. Ethan Sheehan, though, I just want to cover him one last time. This man defeated Hikaru Nakamura. And, look at this. Look at this final position. You can see it's domineering. So he had the white pieces. Hikaru obviously was not feeling it. It was like a Rogozin, it was a, Sicilian defense variation. He had a damaged pawn structure early on, and he just played, dynamically. He used that damaged pawn structure. He traded. He made some mistakes, and Hikaru was attacking him. But it wasn't enough in the end, because Hikaru makes this mistake with rook g6. Now the queen can get to e3. Clutch find. Queen comes in. Now he takes the hanging rook and doesn't take back, because you would get mated. By the way, if you take this bishop back, you get mated in 1. So at one point, we'll have to talk about the downfall of Hikaru Nakamura. He's not winning Title Tuesday anymore. And yeah, even though there's knight g2, unless you take it and hang mate in 1, you're going to lose. But you could probably sack your queen. I don't know if that works. Probably does, like f takes g6 and then you take, yeah. You might run into some problems, but this is probably still winning. So yeah, what a win by Ethan Sheehan, defeating Hikaru Nakamura. Absolutely clutch from him. And so that was the Naroditsky Memorial. Yes, it was chess, but the main focus, for me at least, it was watching some phenomenal chess, but it was remembering Daniel Naroditsky over this weekend. From July the 3rd to July the 5th. Obviously, I'm recording this July the 9th to be out on July the 10th, so about a week or so since the event truly began. Javokhir Sindarov looked fantastic. Obviously, we didn't see a lot of some of the other top players that were there, but it was mostly about Danya. And that there was the Create Invitational, which I covered in a separate video, had some phenomenal games as well. The Botezes were involved there. So was Gotham Chess. So was John Bartholomew. So was Danny Range, Eric Rosen, and then Julian Song, and so on. Yeah, so remembering Daniel Naroditsky, Javokhir Sindarov doing his best impression of Danya. We had Rapid, we had Blitz. It was all at the Charlotte at the Marriott Chess Center. And yeah, what can you do? What can you do? It was an amazing event. I'm happy to be back, and I'll see you again tomorrow for more videos. Cheers.